Hi everyone. So this is our writing prompt mini lesson. You will have a copy of your writing prompt, your graphic organizer, your paragraph structure in Google Classroom for you. So here's our writing prompt for the week. Compare and contrast Bud at the beginning of the story and at the end. How did becoming a member of the band help Bud adapt to life at Grand Calloway Station? So you will have a graphic organizer that you're going to be able to type into, but it has all of these questions. Here's our first one. What was Bud like when he first arrived at Callaway Station? If we're comparing at the beginning of the story and at the end of the story, then the story begins when he arrives at Callaway Station. So in our previous videos, we took some notes and we talked about what Bud was like at the beginning of the story. So we know that Bud was exhausted, and I'm going to use bullet points. Exhausted, tired, he was unsure of what was going to happen. Okay, and so if this is our thinking, this is where we write those things that we know. Now you could write sentences. Bud was exhausted and tired. Bud was unsure of what was going to happen, if he would be able to stay. I'm going to add that. And if he would be able to stay. Okay, so you could write sentences. I'm using bullet points because this is where I'm organizing my thoughts. When I go to write my paragraph, that's when I'll take these ideas, maybe not all of them, maybe I pick and choose the best one, and that's what I use for my example sentence that's going to start my writing. And so once you come up with kind of what you're going to write about, then you go to your text evidence. And this week, I gave you some questions to think about to help you find your text evidence. So if we are saying that Bud is exhausted, tired, and unsure, then your text evidence to support that should be tell me, why was Bud this way? So that's the kind of text evidence we're looking for. Why was Bud exhausted, tired, and unsure? So this is where we write what the text told us. So we learned in that first little section of the story that, and I'm going to use direct quotes because I'm going to write this right from the book. Shuttling between, oops, that's not how you spell orphanages. Orphanages and foster homes. Okay, we also know that it says he breaks down and cries out of exhaustion and relief. Okay, so we have two exact pieces of text evidence. You might even combine those. If I was writing, I might, use both of those pieces of text evidence. And then if I was looking for text evidence, why was he unsure of what was going to happen and if he would be able to stay? I might paraphrase if I'm using this one. We know that he overhears a conversation about him staying. Okay, so this again is what was he like when he first arrived. Okay, and then this is the text evidence that supports our thinking. Now we go and we talk about what was Bud like at the end of the story. And we did some work on that too. We wrote, Bud is happy to be part of the band and have a home. Okay, so what was Bud like at the end of the story? Happy. We might even use the word grateful. Grateful. And I'm going to rewrite that to be part of the band and have a home. Okay, so now we find our text evidence. How did the band help him? What did they do? Okay, so we know that Steady Eddie gave him a recorder. We also know that the band members gave him a nickname. Okay, so this is paraphrasing. Okay, that's what the band members did, but we could go back in and we could find actual text evidence of one of them saying this. If I were writing this, I would use both of these. I would paraphrase both of those as to the text evidence. So, you know, if we're saying at the end of the story, Bud was happy and grateful to be part of the band and have a name, according to the text, it states that Steady Eddie gave him a recorder and the members of the band gave him a nickname. And then you go into that sentence, what do those things mean? What does that mean? Okay, so you're going to explain what that text evidence means. So for this part of your graphic organizer, again, you're going to fill it in with your thinking. What was he like at the beginning? What was he like at the end? And then you're going to find text evidence in the story to support those ideas that you've listed here. You can use direct quotes. You can paraphrase what happened in the story. Okay, so there's two things. This is your pre-work. This is the pre-work that we typically do together in class. And I know we didn't do it last week. I had to kind of rethink what this would look like in distance learning. But this is the pre-work that we would have done together, probably on a chart paper before you started writing. You always have to organize your thinking. Okay, so once you've done your pre-thinking, then you can go into the paragraph structure. And so you each will have a copy of the paragraph structure. Your paragraph begins with a topic sentence where you restate the prompt. And I've given you an example. Becoming a member of the band helped Bud adapt to life at Grand Calloway Station. First sentence, what was Bud like at the beginning of the story? And I give you a way to begin that sentence. Then you're going to support your text evidence using some of the different, you choose one of the different ways to start your text evidence. Then you're going to explain your text evidence. What does it show you? What does it mean? How does it connect to that writing prompt? If our prompt is asking us, how did he adapt to life? Then you have to explain how the text evidence helped him adapt to life at Grand Calloway Station. Then you go into your second example at the end of the story and you fill that in. Bud was. Then your next sentence is your text evidence to support it. And then what does that show? This shows, this means, and again, you're connecting it to that writing prompt. And then you end your paragraph with your concluding sentence. In conclusion, Bud's experiences with the band helped him adapt to his new home. You do not have to use my topic sentence and my concluding sentence, but I put those there to show you examples of how these sentences should connect together. You definitely can come up with your own. Okay, the last thing you will have is your grade level writing no excuses list. It is expected that you indent paragraphs, capitalize first word of sentences, use punctuation correctly, capitalize proper nouns, which are like people's names, and also the pronoun I. Spell check spelling before you turn it in. Do not begin sentences with and. Just start a new sentence. Don't start it with and. If you take away that and, I'm pretty sure the next word you were going to use could be the beginning of your sentence. For paragraph writing, no excuses list. You must have a topic sentence that restates the prompt. You must give 2 examples that answer the prompt. You must support those examples with text evidence. You're going to cite using example. You're going to choose one of these. Not 2, not 3. You're going to choose one. You're going to explain text evidence that's been given using one of these examples. This shows, this means. Then you're going to have a concluding sentence that summarizes your response to the writing prompt. Your paragraph is 8 sentences and follows the paragraph structure. Here's our paragraph structure. This is what I use when I grade. This is what I use. It's what helps me determine if you are writing at grade level yet. Okay? So you will have all of these in Google Classroom with your writing prompt assignment. Okay? I have a meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock for ELA support. If you're unsure about writing, then you should come to that meeting. It's an open invite. Luckily, you can pause the video. Here's some great ways to help you get started with your thinking. Okay? But we do need to help you with your thinking because next year, I'm not too sure that Mrs. Bobrow and Mrs. Simus are going to do all of this for you or with you. They're going to expect you to be able to read a story and answer questions and come up with your own ideas. Okay? But I'm here to help get you there. All right? So, like I said, any questions, let me know. Join the meeting tomorrow at 2. Hope this helped. Walk you through your writing prompt. Good luck, and I can't wait to see what you read.